Insight from Iowa, plus the political fallout and no-holds-barred analysis from D.C.
Welcome back. Later on tonight, it'll be in the hands of the voters in Iowa. But when the ballots are finally tabulated, the Iowa caucuses could be full of surprises because of the gigantic number of undecideds. Joining us right now from Des Moines, Iowa, is Fox News contributor and author of Muzzled, Juan Williams. And standing outside there in Des Moines is former communications director for the Republican National Committee, Doug Heye. Doug, how cold is it right now?
You know, the temperature's dropping, but we know that things are heating up right now, and I hope they continue to heat up. I'm an icicle right now.
But you're right, things are going to heat up because if you look at the polls, and they are fluid right now, Juan Williams, the one that's leading right now is undecided. Undecided hasn't decided yet and probably won't until they wind up in that room tonight, right?
Well, you know, it's undecided is kind of an amorphous term, Steve, because it's not that they don't have a candidate. I think it's that they're open to being persuaded, is I think what 41% of the voters say. And so once they get in a caucus where they're going to hear friends, neighbors, even the minister possibly stand up and say, here's why I'm supporting this candidate, and won't you join me? They're open to that argument, right. And that means that we are in a very, very fluid situation.
That absolutely perfectly framed the soundbite we're going to play right now. Here is the mayor of Polk City, Iowa, reflecting that sentiment.
I don't think there's any candidate out there that you're supported 100%. So you kind of look on which most represents your own feelings and what you think is good for this country.
You know for sure which way you're going?
No.
So he, Doug Heye, I would consider to be persuadable. What happens in the room tonight where people are persuaded?
Well, what happens is every candidate has the opportunity to have a representative in the caucus site to give some short remarks, about 5 minutes, of why that candidate, whether it's Rick Perry, Mitt Romney, Michelle Bachmann, Ron Paul, the opportunity to say this is the candidate to vote for. But that's why organization is so important. Those campaigns that have the best organizations on the ground, and we really see that from the three campaigns that have been leading the polls in the past week or so, are those that are going to have that best opportunity to make that closing argument, that closing sale. If your campaign is not in that room and the 1,774 different precincts throughout the state, right, it means you're losing an opportunity. And that's where undecided voters or those persuadable voters move into those other categories.
Exactly right. Now, so somebody who doesn't have as many supporters in the room, you know, the people who were for that person, they suddenly hear all the loud voices for some of the other people at the top of the heap. They might be going, I don't want to be stuck with a loser. All right, I'm going to go with so-and-so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. And I think the other point to be made here is that if you look at the high number of people who are not Republicans, I mean, they refuse to self-identify as Republicans going into these caucuses tonight. It was about 13% in 2008. It's now going to be closer to 25% according to the latest polling. That's 25% of people who I think are there looking for someone who's just going to represent their passionate anger at Washington, Steve. I think these are people who are sick of what's going on with the government. Sure. They really want things changed, and they are looking for somebody to represent. Now, I don't think those are Romney persuadable people. I think those are people who are looking at the anti-Romney crowd, and I think that's where you get energy for. You know, a lot of those people are going to go for Ron Paul, but I think then you're also then potentially looking at the Santorum surge.
And, Doug, in the back of everybody's head, they've got to be thinking, you know, which of these people can beat Barack Obama? Because that's why they're showing up tonight.
Absolutely. And Iowa, you know, is the state that really launched Barack Obama in 2008, maybe the state that takes him out in 2012. The Republican Party in Iowa, led by Chairman Matt Strawn, has had 33 months of registration gains over the Democrats. 1 in 10 Democrats since Barack Obama's been elected in Iowa have left the party. That means this is a battleground state. This is where the election will be in part decided in 2012 on Election Day.
Well, the two of you were both persuadable. We were able to get you on TV at 4:19 in the morning, Des Moines time.